What are the pros and the cons of selling your home by yourself for sale by owner? We'll cover that today on Frequently Asked Friday. What is going on, party people? In this video, I'm going to do my best job to give you an unbiased opinion or unbiased opinions as far as the pros and cons of selling your home for sale by owner as opposed to listing it with a real estate professional. Let's jump right into it. All right, so pro number one of selling your home yourself, you are going to save on those pesky real estate commissions. So real estate commissions, depending on your area, but depending on what you negotiate, are typically somewhere in the range of 5 to 6%. So if you are able to sell your property yourself, you are saving that 5 to 6% that would normally go to real estate professionals. You're sticking that money right back in your pocket. A con of selling your home by yourself is you generally, statistically, on median, are going to sell your property for about 26% less than what it would sell for with a real estate professional. Now, I know I catch a lot of heat. I know anytime I say that, somebody has an anecdotal story of, hey, my cousin's brother's uncle sold their property and they sold it for more than the realtor told them they'd be able to sell it for. All I'm sharing is the National Association of Realtor statistics that they've been keeping since the 80s. And what their numbers show is that on median, homes sold with real estate professionals sell for about 26% more than homes sold for sale by owner. So sorry to interrupt the video that you're watching, but if you would ever want a no hassle, no obligation market analysis to find out what your home is worth in today's market, or maybe you want to chat about the home selling process, or maybe even want to chat about the home buying process, feel free to call or text me at the number below, or you can email me at chris@elliottreteam.com. I'll let you get back to the video. Pro number two of selling your home for sale by owner, you get to control the process. So if you are somebody that is a control freak, or you just like to be in charge, or you like to kind of control the variables and know every detail, be involved in every conversation, every part of the process, you absolutely retain that selling your property yourself. Whereas when you hire a real estate professional, you're naturally delegating or handing off a lot of the interaction responsibilities. So if that is something that's important to you, that's absolutely a pro of selling your home as a for sale by owner. A con of selling your home for sale by owner is that you are not enlisting any professional help or guidance. So the flip side of giving up control is you're also giving up that help. You're not having somebody that is guiding you through the process. So hopefully you know what you're doing, or you're having to research all the answers yourself, kind of spend that time, spend that energy. There's also no buffer. If you're a little biased about your home, there's no buffer in there to give you kind of an objective third-party opinion about things. A pro of listing your home by yourself, there is going to be absolutely no pressure to stage your property, to make repairs, to make upgrades. No one's going to be over your shoulder suggesting you to do those things. So if you are somebody that doesn't want to fuss with all that, don't worry if you sell your property yourself. Obviously, nobody's going to be recommending you do that other than maybe your spouse. A con of selling your property yourself, if you are not staging, making repairs, doing upgrades, things of that nature that might be recommended, your home is not going to show as good as it possibly could, and therefore is probably going to sell for a little bit less than it potentially could. Now, it may or may not be important to you to squeeze every single shekel out of your property. And certainly if it's not, don't worry about those things, but realize if you're not doing the prep work, you're obviously not going to get the same result. All right, so a con of selling your property yourself is if you are not doing the prep work on your property, staging, making repairs, making improvements, things of that nature, it may not show as well as if you had made those upgrades or made those improvements, and therefore it may not sell for as much. Obviously, if you're putting the work in, you're probably going to reap the result, but if we're not putting the work in, you're not going to reap the result. Now, if you are somebody that doesn't care about squeezing every penny out of your property, if you say, hey, I'd rather not do that, and if that means that I'm walking away with less money, I'm okay with that. No worries, but obviously, if we're not putting in the prep work, you're not going to reap the same result as somebody that is. Another pro of selling your property yourself is you get to deal with the buyers directly. So if you're somebody that likes to wheel and deal, if you're somebody that likes to build relationships, if you are somebody that feels like they've got pretty strong sales skills, this may be an asset to you to deal directly with a buyer. A con of selling your property yourself is there is no buffer between you and the buyer. So if you're not somebody that likes dealing with people, if you're not somebody that likes the wheeling and dealing, if you're somebody that gets a little emotional or rational, or gets a little biased, or maybe we're not good at interpersonal relationships, that may not be that's going to be a con for you because you're left to deal directly with the buyer and or the buyer's agent if they're represented. A pro of selling your property yourself is you get to be pickier with what buyers that you show your property to, and you're probably going to have less showings selling your property for sale by owner. So if you're somebody that doesn't want anybody and everybody in your home, if you're somebody that doesn't want to have as many showings or just doesn't want to have to entertain as many showings, that's going to be a plus for you selling for sale by owner because naturally you retain that right to be picky and you have less showings. A con of selling your property yourself, flip side of that coin, is less exposure, less showings generally means less money. The more showings we're willing to entertain, the more people that we bring out to the property, generally the more offers that garners, and the more offers that you garner, naturally, the higher the price goes. So guys, I hope you found that valuable. If you thought of any pros or cons that I didn't include in this video, please do throw them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week.